Well, this is my 7th game of TTN, and we are getting my first turn ever. This is 2 open, and something really important to remember here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Something really important to remember here is the rules. Same combo, random, element all. So, we have these 2 cards with a 10 down. I'm very tempted to put one in 1. He would need something with a water elemental and a 9 up at least to capture it, a 9 or 10 up. That seems pretty unlikely to me, because there's a whole variety of elements. So I think we want to take the half safe spot. He'll probably get the other half safe spot, but if he has less than a 10 facing out, we can take it with our 6A 4/4. This is very close to a no rules game with elemental. I definitely want to use one of my 2 visible cards at the start. That seems definitely what we should be looking to do. Which is better, 4/4 A6 or 1/8 A6? I definitely want the A8 corner, I think, moving forward. I do have some left weaknesses, but the game actually, there's a good chance it won't be facing left. So we're going to take this potentially safe square. I think, you can't assume they have the element, right? Now, we know they have a 10 to the right in their hand. They could put in 16. And we can't capture that. That is true. But, what else are we doing here? Not much. There's very little potential in my hand to set up sames, right? I don't have something with a 6 down to make a threat with 6A 4/4. Not that I think I'd have done that anyway, but I'm expecting 3/2 9A and 16, and I don't know what I'll do after that. I would like to do something where A2 7/7 does not have a good move. That would be desirable, I think. Okay, they have picked up a different card than 3/2 9A. That's actually potentially really scary for me, because if they have a capture, uh, we're way behind if they have a capture. This is my first turn ever. I was talking a little to some other people, and they generally suggested that there's between 2 and 4 blocks in general in games, and that 3 blocks is really advantageous for first turn, and 2 and 4 blocks second turn is a better shot. Okay, they go for a big corner. Now, we don't have an A to the left. We do have a left issue, so that's a bummer. We cannot really set up sames against that. So that's just a safe card from our perspective. And that's rough because we can't take 16 as a safe card for ourselves. Now, we could try to do the same thing they did with our own A914, but they have captures against it. So that seems not what we want to do. And this didn't open up any half safe squares for us. So maybe we can play against the 2 cards visible in their hand. Can I play in such a way that neither of those cards make sense to come out of their hand? Well, 1 makes sense in 16 no matter what. Maybe the visible cards don't matter as much in a game that's basically no rules. But they might have a right weakness. We might be able to, if we played something like, I don't know, 5, 9, 7, 4, and 16, they can take it. I know that. But they can't take it with either of their cards visible, and I could very likely play A914 safely in 14, capturing whatever card they put in 15, and leaving them with 2 cards in hand that might not be so good. So I think there is a case for going in 16. I was also thinking going somewhere like 4 or 8, just putting something on the right, but their 3/2 9A just gets free squares so easily, and it's going to have a free square in 16. So I think I will play in 16 myself. They're going to get a free square, or I'm going to block it. I'm not getting a free square there. They're going to get the free square, but they're going to have to, if they want to take it in 15, give me a square in 14. Now, again, if they have an electric facing down from 10, this doesn't work. But I think this makes some sense. Is there any point to holding on to 5974? I don't think it has a plus anywhere on the board. I don't see its symbols. Is there any need to hold on to 9745? Well, I think the game's going to be a bit down directed. And I already have a bunch of cards that have no play going down. I want to keep the 6A44. I think 10s are very powerful in this kind of set. So I'm going to play the odd 9745 and 16. My point is twosome. I know I keep Victory Bell in my hand, which I'd like to use, but my point is they can't use either of their open cards. If I can run them out of hidden cards, maybe this matters less on first turn. Maybe this is not what I'm thinking. So the better point, or what I should be thinking, the better point I think is they're going to have safety in 16 anyway. But this time, for them to get that safety, I force them to occupy 15, which gives me a safe square in 14. Otherwise, they get that, and I'm just still going to have vulnerable cards on the board. But this way, I think I get a little compensation for it. Not a lot. Not a lot, right? I'm often just down in the resulting position, right? Like, they go 15, they're up 6-4. I go, they're up 7-5. This is TTN. I go 14, I capture one back, I'm down 6-6, but they can capture their card back from 11, and they're up 7-5 with a vulnerable card on board. Now, that's not a great situation for me, but compare to I put something weak in 16 and they go in, I put something weak in, say, 4 and they go in 16. We're going to have some position where I'm going to then have to put down a second card that's not very safe. You know, maybe I can play something like Victory Bell in 3 there, actually. But if they go 3 before me, it's really unpleasant because I don't have stuff for 8. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. I've never been... Oh, that's annoying. The 10 facing out. Yeah, that is really not ideal. But doesn't matter so much. One, we could take that. But then they have safety in 14. So I think I just want to take 14. Keep open the threat in 11. Not the card I wanted to see, but I'm going to be down 1 and they're going to have to put down a target. And I think that's all we can ask for here. And we still have kept them from being able to place the stuff in their hand. And if they use, or the stuff visible, and if they use either of the visible cards in 11, we can take it and it should be safe in the other direction. So there is a little case for what I'm doing, but I think I've gone astray. I've never been good at these no-rule games with Elemental on. Obviously, I avoid Elemental games like The Plague, but when I've taken games with people that play it regularly, Blizzard, Chickeny, Zelda, some others, I'm just clearly outclassed on this kind of thing. I don't have a sense for the paired squares here. This is a difficult set for me. Luckily, however, I am undefeated on my own account, and all the times I lose, if I'm going to lose this game, are on Ray's account. So that's great. Okay, they have picked up another card from their hiddens. Okay, so if we take that, it's presumably safe. Now, ideally, I want to take it to keep playing against their other cards. So I only have one way to take, it's Victory Bell, but I'm happy to get Victory Bell out of my hand. And notably, they cannot take that safely with the Bowser son or whatever, Junior Bowser, in 8. So I think we want to grab that, and that gives us 3 safe cards on board and 1 in danger. They have 3 safe cards on board and none in danger. This is not great for us. But hopefully we can get a tie. And we can see their remaining cards, 2 out of 3 of them. And the 2 that we can't see are not that powerful here. They're not that powerful here. For instance, if they played in 3, they would go up 7-5. But we could play something like 6A44 in 6, and make it 5-5, and we have recaptures everywhere that would be needed. Unless we've somehow set them up for a same there, I think we're holding ties everywhere. Okay, so here my idea was to go 6A4-4 in 3, holding ties. But that might not be the cleanest way to do it. The cleanest way, I wish plus wall came on for a turn. It's probably, all right, well, we have choices here, actually. So if we go something in 4, that makes it 6-6. As long as they don't combo, which is incredibly unlikely because they'd have to same a 1 and a 4, they'll take us, go up 7-5, and then we have final turn, and that's in 6, and we capture back Victory Bell, and we tie. If they somehow can't take a 4, which is unlikely, but I guess possible, we would win there, but that is not really worth thinking about. So that seems like a pretty safe tie. If we go in 3 with a 10 facing out, we make it 6-6. If they go in 4, we have no captures on board, we tie. If they go somewhere else, they're almost certainly capturing Victory Bell. They're never giving us the same, so that's no better. That's just ties. If we started in 6, I don't really see how that'd help. Yeah, I think 4 is the cleanest path. And if they happen to have some enormous rightward directional weakness, then it does randomly win. But this just seems so unlikely. So I think we're going to tie here. Does it matter which card I use? Not really. I'm going to do it this way. And I think we've tied this one. Again, unless they have some just freakishly bad hand where they just had no rightward power except for A914. But again, that seems super unlikely. However, if we had drawn their hidden card out of their hand last turn, we would have had hope given their rightward weakness. So I think, yeah. So I think playing against the cards in their hand actually proved somewhat effective. And we get a tie. Not the best work ever, but I'll certainly take it. I thought that was an uncomfortable spot for me, but last turn is a very powerful effect. I think we'll do this just the same video. What's the rules again? It's just same, which is such a curious one, and level 9. Alright, this time I remembered to say good luck and stuff. And we have first turn again. How does it look? Okay, they have that 3-2-9A again. 5-8-6-8, not a very good card here. So that's pleasant to see. Nine Tails has a lot of squares with +1. A lot of squares with +1. Maybe we can be sneaky. Do we have any other cards that have important +1s? 4A7-3 can get a +1 in 11. Chansey has a symbol. Does Chansey have any relevant +1 squares? I don't think so. A628 also has 11. I don't know if 11 matters that much. Excited about Ninetales, though. Maybe Ninetales can make some magic. I think 10s are valuable. I think 2896 is the worst card in my hand. I kind of want to drop that in like 10. If they go 3-2-A9 in 12, we actually have a capture in 9. and not in 16, which is kind of... Oh no, we do have a capture in 16. Okay, we have captures in both squares there. Oh, I have no idea. A628 is really important to our hand. It is useful to get visible cards out of the hand. Maybe I should be looking to use Chansey. Good case, I should be looking to use Chansey. But Chansey has... Those two cards are the only things with up in my hand. And one of them has by far my best left. And they have captured... I think 2896 is enough weaker. I should get rid of it first. But I'm really not sure where. Kind of tempted to go 13. Because it creates a threat to go safely in 12 for me, but probably not for them because I have Ninetales. But the bummer there is I can't even recapture Ninetales afterwards. So I'd probably have to do 4A6. No. This isn't what I want out of life. Maybe I should use 4A67 then. Easier recapture. Don't want the game going up though, but maybe I'll put 4A67 in 3. Just something I can recapture. No, I hate that too. 4A67 in 10. No, let's play Principle of Two Weaknesses. I'm holding on to 2896 just because it's the only... No, it can't even recapture a 70A7 from above. So I should probably just get rid of that. But even then, where? I have no idea. Alright, I'm going to go with the move in 3. I don't like using a hidden card. But I didn't want to use 4A73 because I think that gives me really useful coverage of their 329A. And A628 is just too good. I didn't find a good move for Chansey. Oh, I should have posted the previous game. Let's do that now. No, I want to reload that. There we go. And let's get back to where we were. Gotta reform. Send submission. I always get a little worried on this, or at least I used to, that I'd be accidentally sending it the same card again or something. Yeah. I feel like, oh, they picked up a hidden card too. I feel like I'm like just starting to get a bit of the hang of TTN, and then immediately we go to this weird no rules type thing. Okay. So we can lock in a card, and we definitely should. Definitely should. The question is, how do we take in 2? And the answer is probably what's the easiest thing to recapture, right? And so I think we want to play 4A73 in 2. Chansey is a really good recapturer in 5, and we have lots of captures in 1, and it doesn't seem like the game is going to be all that directed towards the right. You know, my 1 point was it's in 11. Now, the downside of this move is, again, our hand remains visible. But the problem is, if I play Chansey in 2, I don't have a double capture in 5, and I actually think the double capture is pretty helpful. Because if I have to use A628 in 5, then I actually do not have a capture in 11 of the mini Bowser thing. So I think it's between 4A73 and 2896. But again, 2896 doesn't give me the Chansey captures next turn, and I really want to have them. So I think 4A73 has got to be the choice. And we have locked in the first card this game. So this is a better start, I think. we might run out of up power, right? If they keep capturing, we're going to run out of power in the direction of the game, right? If they go in 1 and we go in 5 and they go in, sorry, we go in 6. I think I've been saying 5 when I meant 6. But if they go in 1 and we go in 6 and they go in 5, you know, we have a6-2-8, but we have very little else facing the game. And we'll have to find a use for the 2-9-8-6. So we'll probably end up just dropping 2-9-8-6 on a random square if that should happen. Okay, they do take there. Now, we could play 9 tails and 6, but I think fundamentally... No, they have 2 hidden cards left. They can, yeah. So we should get Chansey out of our hand. We should get one of the cards not doing a lot out of our hand. We are starting to waste a lot of the fire squares for 9 tails trickery, but it's got to be Chansey. Right? 9 tails is just, if they can take that 8, which admittedly they need a 10 to the right to be able to take. But also, I think it really is good for us to flip Mini Bowser, because if we flip that, 2-8-9-6 could have a use, right? If we go in 6 and they go in 5, we could chuck 2-8-9-6 in 11, and at least it's blocking something in. It's never going to capture something, but it can block something in. And that lets it find some kind of use. A6-2-8, I think, is valuable to hold on to and doesn't capture 7. So we're going to go 9-9-8-1. Seems very unlikely we're, ever same tier with a 1 and a 7. I really keep forgetting that rule is on, but it also seems deeply irrelevant to how this set's actually going to play. This is a no rules game, with the occasional quirk. So we can flip that. Now, an 8 and a 6 is actually where stuff starts being comboable. We could also play an 11, locking in our card. All right. If this is a tie, we have to wait to continue. That's okay. Now, the problem with using a6-2-8 in either of 9 or 10 is then I don't have a capture in the other square, which makes a case for starting in 11. I'm not sure how good a case it is, though. Like, if we put 2-8-9-6 and 11 and they block 10, we have... Our 9 tails doesn't capture that well, which leads me to think maybe 9 tails and 11 is actually the choice. Because then 2-8-9-6 has some play on either side of it. I've got this 5-8-6-8. Can we play in such a way that card sucks? Probably not. Probably not. One line I like the idea of, but it just doesn't matter, is 2-8-9-6 and 11, they capture in 10, and we can, 9 tails and 11, they capture in 10, we play 2-8-9-6 and 12, and if they have no captures there, our a6-2-8 is good, and it's hard for them to have captures. But if we go a6-2-8 in 9, we go up 6-4. But it's just so hard for us to capture with 2-8-9-6 at the end. Like, we go 9, they go, say, 13. We go 10 with 9 tails. We need them to have a 6 or less facing right when they capture. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. There's a lot that isn't it. We also need a6-2-8 to not be my last card, because that makes it really dodgeable for him. Trying to find ideas. Give me a sec. I wish that had an 8 down. Then Ninetales could have, the +1 hitting hard. No, I don't see like any ideas that seem like they could win this game. What's the last card in my hand that has any use? I don't know. I wish the pluses were on slightly different squares, but yeah, obviously we can't do anything about that. No, let's just use A628. Let's stop being visible to him what we have. No, that's terrible. That's terrible. Didn't find anything. We have to take a break if we tie this one. This is my 8th game, by the way. He has already picked up his visible card, which is, not the best sign. No, he hasn't. Sorry. I just didn't scroll down. Yeah. I don't know what to make of this one. I hate having... I hate having A628 visible here. Yeah, he does pick it up. Okay. Now, if he has no right, then A628 and 16 likely wins. Maybe he can block 10 in a way we can't take, but we have a threat there. That's probably the best chance. Yeah, because we're down 7-5. There's also 2, 8, 9, 6, and 2, but that's easier to take, and we never have a double capture after. So I think we want to just hope he can't take A628. It's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. The one encouraging sign, though he's already used both cards, I was going to say, is that he seems to have limited card selection, much like I would if I was playing on my actual account. And therefore, if we see a card once, we might see it a whole bunch, like 329A and A277. So I was going to say he's likely to have those right weaknesses again, but he's already used both of the cards that had that weakness. So I think we're just headed to a tie. Mm-hmm. Not too much to say here. I would have thought this would be a format where TTN actually might be like especially interesting compared to more traditional TTA, of just a bigger board to deal with the construct of random no rules with elemental. But I think it worked worse than the TTA version. I think there are I don't know. I would have thought this would be a version where that card again. Okay. Oh, that didn't capture. They didn't have right power. So I kind of got lucky on their deck that they didn't have the right cards. And we sneak a win. I guess we'll call it. But yeah, I don't think I had a good handle on these. I think I just got pretty lucky that he had limited card selection, that also had a bunch of cards without 10s on them, which were just unable to go the right directions. Yeah. All right. On to the knockout rounds, I guess.